So hi, you guys. Welcome to our One Tribe team meeting today. We are going to be talking all about Shift Shop. For those of you guys who don't know, I am actually in the Shift Shop test group right now. So I am going through the program with about 250 other coaches and Chris Downing and some corporate members too. And I want to tell you guys all about it tonight. And I want to make sure you guys have a chance to ask questions, and also to talk to you guys about how to prep your business for Shift Shop. There's some certain things that I am doing right now to prepare for the launch in July. Because the cool thing is, now that we have Beachbody On Demand, the launches are a little bit different. We've never had a launch while having Beachbody On Demand All Access. So in the past, we always sold DVDs by themselves in a challenge pack where people could buy it. So whenever a new program came out, we were selling challenge packs like hotcakes because people wanted the new program. And that's not necessarily the case anymore. So I want to talk to you guys about how we're going to be doing things this time around. I want to tell you guys about the program and then also how I am preparing for the launch. And then I want to definitely make sure we open it up for questions. And I can share quite a bit with you guys. I literally can't show you the booklet I have or show you the materials, but I can tell you pretty much all about them. So I've got all my materials here in case you guys have questions. So I am going to screen share. I have just a tiny little PowerPoint, and then we'll just open it up for questions. So can you guys see my screen? Okay. So I'm going to talk to you guys tonight about how to prepare your business for Shift Shop. So for those of you guys who don't know what Shift Shop is, I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the program. So it is a 3-week program, but it does come with a couple of different rounds. So technically when you get the package, you're going to see 3 weeks. You're going to see round 2, which is more intense than round 1. And then round 3 is kind of a hybrid of a couple other programs and Shift Shop. So if you wanted to do Shift Shop for 90 days, or not 90 days, so 3 to 9 weeks, you could do that. But the main program is 3 weeks long. The workouts change every single week. So Ben is joining me. Okay. This is weird. Okay, you have to go. I'm on live. Sorry guys, real life. Okay, so the workouts change every single week. Sorry, guys. The workouts change every single week. And so week 1, they start out at 25 minutes. Week 2, they are 35 minutes. And week 3, they are 45 minutes. So they increase by 10 minutes every single week. It alternates every single day between cardio and strength. So for example, I'm in week 3 right now. There are 2 different workouts. We switch every single time. So every workout in the program, you're going to do 3 times. And every time you're going to be amazed at how much stronger you get. The workouts are different, but they all have the same type of feel. So the cardio workouts you're going to be using these cute little things, which I'm sure you're going to, sorry, I had to wash them off. I sweat all over them and they're still wet. These things I'm sure are going to be able to be purchased through Beachbody, but I'm sure also that you can probably print them out. I highly recommend getting them. Maybe it's because we're doing this program with Chris Downing, but it's really cool that you slap these things. Right now, he actually has us getting shipping tape and writing our whys on here, and slapping them. And he'll tell you in the program to slap these things. And he's very emotional in this program and also in the test group. So having these specifically has been really nice. Sure, a challenger could lay out their kids' books, but you'll do certain moves where he's like, okay, blue, yellow, and it's kind of nice having the actual colors rather than having to go, okay, which book is supposed to be blue, which hairbrush that I laid out is supposed to be a certain one. It's nice having the actual things, and you're gonna sweat. So if you print them out, you're gonna be printing them out every single day because these things will get wet, you guys. You have 1 day a week, which is yoga. Technically, he has he's got a stretching type thing. He encouraged us to do yoga, and you might find, you guys, you are so pumped up and have so much energy. You're going to feel like running a marathon on those Sundays. And so it's actually nice that he encourages you to do something, just not a workout. So he wants you to do yoga, go for a walk, do something, but to stay active, which I like because I hate having rest days. I'm gonna be honest, it throws me off. The meal plan drops a carb each week. So yeah, you've probably heard people say, oh, it's a keto, it's high fat, low carb. I wouldn't quite go that far. For example, week 1 for me starts out pretty much like 21 Day Fix, just the lowest. I'm on the lowest bracket and it starts out just like that. So week 2 for me, I was dropping a yellow, I was adding in a green. This week, I dropped another yellow. I have 0 yellows this week, you guys. And surprisingly, I don't even miss them. What the heck? Those used to be my favorite. I increased my teaspoons this week. I increased my proteins and I increased my greens. So that is kind of what it's all about. And in this program, the coolest part to me, you guys might not find this cool, but when you're hungry, it's cool. Veggies are unlimited. So if you're hungry, like, you eat more veggies. Like, that's what it is. And you probably are like, well, that's not that great, but it really helps you figure out if you're actually hungry or not. Because I'm not going to go munch on any spinach if I'm actually, if I'm not actually hungry, if I'm just bored. Whereas if I'm really hungry, okay, I'm going to go grab some carrots and munch on those. I would honestly say this program is not for beginners. And the reason I say that is it's not that the workouts are way too intense. I mean, there is a modifier, so you can follow the modifier. And I'm going to be honest in here, he pushes the modifier. There are times where he goes, okay, modifier up. You're doing it just like us. You got to push yourself. And his motto is try before you modify 100% of the time. But the reason I would say this isn't for beginners is it is grain free. So for example, your yellows are going to be sweet potatoes, beans, edamame. Beans aren't even allowed in week 2, so you're kind of down to sweet potatoes. Squash is a yellow on this program. So it's really, really tight on your yellows. And to me, like 4 years ago, I would have really, really struggled having to eat a sweet potato for all of my yellows and not being able to have any real carbs, So that's just something to think about for your challengers, and there's no treats. So like, there's no have a glass of wine with your husband on the weekend. There's no like, oh, I'll swap this out for a yellow. No, there's none of that going on here. And I just really want to like prep you guys for this program because you guys are the coaches and your challengers are going to do what you do. I have obviously been all in. I signed a contract that I would be all in. And it's funny because I've told my coaches this, but it's like, man, why don't we go all in with all of our programs? Like, think how big our businesses would be if we went all in and showed what these programs were all about. And so tonight, I really want to talk to you guys about running your own test group for Shift Shop. And when I say running your own test group, I mean taking it as seriously as this test group is, where you're in there every day motivating your challengers. You're going all in. There's no cheats. There's like, imagine that you signed a contract with yourself that there's no cheats and that your challengers were that committed to. Think what you guys would look like in 3 weeks. I've been doing this for 2 weeks. I'm on day 16. I'll be finishing the first round at the end of the week. I started this at 154.1 pounds and I'm down to 141 right now. That's a pretty significant weight loss for me, especially, I don't lose weight that easily. But my inches have dropped. Like, I feel like a totally different person. And it's been 2 weeks, like 2 weeks and 2 days. It's kind of crazy how quickly this program has transformed you. But you also have to imagine you're dropping your carbs, you're increasing your workout times, you're increasing your proteins and some of your fats and veggies. So I just want to challenge you guys to do this program and go all in with it. Like, commit yourself. It's 3 weeks. It's 21 days. Anyone, we used to say that with 21 Day Fix, anyone can do anything for 21 days. Like, you guys can do this for 21 days. And you guys are the coaches and you guys are the ones that are setting the example for people. And if you do this program and half-ass it and do wine every weekend and fall off and whoops, I'll get back on track, you're not going to get the same results. So when you're sharing all these people in the test group, their transformation pictures, just know that we are in here all in. There's not 1 ounce of wine being drank. There is not one thing that is not being measured or weighed. Like, it is that serious. And so when you share these pictures, just know that that's what you have to do to get those results. So if you want the results like losing 10 pounds in a week or, 2 weeks, you have to be committed the same way that everyone in the test group is committed. There's a girl in the test group right now going to Africa, and she is committed to staying on this plan, not even drinking an ounce of alcohol on her trip. I don't know if I'd be that committed, but she is. You know, there was a mom in there who her daughter got bit by a dog, which is so horrific, and she showed up. Yesterday, she posted a picture of her poor little baby, like, who got mauled, and thankfully, like, is doing really, really amazing today. But she got back from the hospital at midnight last night, and she pressed play. Like, that is the type of commitment that these people have. And I question, why don't get me wrong, there's sometimes I can see why when you don't work out, but just have that level of commitment with this program. Like, you guys are the coaches, you guys are setting the example for people, and people are going to be looking to you for what they should be doing. So I really wanted to encourage you guys to start talking about it now. Just because you're not in the test group doesn't mean you can't talk about Shift Shop. If your followers have no idea what Shift Shop is, change things now. Start talking about it. Tons of people have been starting to put out their transformation pictures. Almost everyone posted their 10-day transformations. And then next Monday, we will all be sharing our final transformations. If you see it out there, share it, go post it. It's okay. If it has a watermark, feel free to copy it and post it on your page without sharing their stuff. I highly recommend do not take off the watermarks just to give the coach credit. But if someone's loyal to you, they're not going to go look at that little watermark and go find that coach. It just is giving it credit where credit is due. But I want you guys to start talking about Shift Shop on social media. If you plan to do it, tell your followers you plan to do it. They're going to ask questions. What is Shift Shop? What's it all about? Let them know everything I just told you. You guys can tell them that it's a 3-week program. It ramps up the times, and it's going to take down your carbs and increase your fats and some of your proteins. Talk about it. Tell them what your plan is. Tell them how you're preparing for Shift Shop. Share little tidbits of the program. Do people know that if they are a Beachbody On Demand All Access subscriber, it is free to them? I love when someone comments on my stuff and says, how much is this program going to be? It's free. If you have Beachbody On Demand All Access, it's free. No one needs to know how much the DVDs are, because we're not selling those unless someone doesn't have internet. So plan on that. Make sure you're getting people hooked up with Beachbody On Demand All Access and not waiting for these DVDs. That's the whole point of Beachbody On Demand All Access. So when you see transformation pictures or things like that, let me go to the next slide. This is the hashtag all of us in the test group are using. We're using Make the Shift, Shift Shop, and Shift Shop Test Group. Go search those things, you guys. If anything, you're going to get information for yourself. Almost everyone is posting videos of themselves daily doing these workouts. We're posting our meals. We're posting how we're feeling, our transformations. Go on there. And if anything, you're getting more information to share in your groups and to your followers, but make sure that you're following along so you are in the know, and that you're not going to wait till July at Summit to go, oh, that's what this thing's all about. Get ahead of the curve. You have to understand that so many coaches are going to be talking about this. And if you don't talk about it, as silly as it sounds, some people don't realize that all Beachbody coaches have the access to the same things. People will say, I've had people come to me going, you're not promoting that sale. Can you give it to me for that price too? It's yeah, we have access to everything the same, People don't know that though. Some people think that we set our own prices or we have access to secret things that other people don't, which is silly, but make sure you're talking about this because everyone else is. And you don't want a challenger or a potential customer saying, oh, well, she's not doing Shift Shop, so I went over to this coach. She's running a test group for it. You don't want to be that coach. So search these hashtags and make sure you're talking about it. When you're doing live videos, sharing about your journey, talk about what you're doing next so people can follow along with you. The next thing that I personally do, you guys don't have to do these things, I just want to share what I'm doing, is I'm creating an event for this group. Okay, can you guys see? I took a snapshot just to show you guys how many people are going to my event. 64 people are going. That's now up to 70, and 52 people are interested. So it just depends what they click. But that's over 100 people, you guys, that have already RSVP'd to go to my Shift Shop test group in July. So I want you guys to create an event page on your like page. It is public. Did you know every time you post in it, it will notify your followers that you posted in this event page? And then when they're going, it'll definitely let them know. and you can post in there. Every time you see a transformation picture, you can post it in there. Maybe you post a transformation picture on your like page, and you can say, are you going to be joining my official test group where we test out the program together? And when I say a test group, like, one thing I'm doing is I am closing down my challenge groups for July, and the only thing I am doing is Shift Shop. So if a challenger wants to do 21-day fix, I will help them outside of my challenge group. I will help them in my free fit club. I will help them elsewhere through email, whatever. My group, we are all doing Shift Shop. Day 1, we all do day 1 together. Day 2, we all do day 2 together. And another cool thing about Shift Shop is it gives you an exact meal plan. It tells you what to eat: breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, everything in between. It even tells you what performance line to use every single week. It is that specific. It tells you when to drink your Shakeology, and sure, you can modify it, but you don't have to. But you can give, all your challengers can be eating the same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, the same as you. All of you guys can be doing the same workouts every single day together. And think how cool that will be, of having a place where you guys are all doing the same thing. And I gotta say, just being in this test group, it is so cool knowing that on day, like today was strength 45, and you get to the end of the workout and you think you're done, you start like stretching, and all of a sudden he goes, oh, you thought we were done? And bonus round, okay? There's another minute, 30 seconds of a burnout that you have to get off the ground. I was already on the ground, pretty much like dead. And then he makes you get up for a bonus round. And we all in the group can talk about that together today. You know, that yesterday was an insane workout. I actually had to tell my husband to unlock the garage door just in case I had to run inside and barf. And I've never felt like that during a workout. And some guy in the test group posted a picture of himself hiding in a corner sucking his thumb and said, enough said. And it's like, yes, we all were like, oh my gosh, yes, that's how we felt with yesterday's workout. But we are all doing it together, so we all can talk about it. And there's something cool going through the program together. And I'm not trying to scare you guys with the program, and it is intense, but it's cool going through this together. It's cool feeling like, oh my gosh, yes, Chris Downing's trying to freaking kill us today. But it's cool being able to talk about these things together and be at the exact same point in the program as everyone else. So I would challenge you guys to do a test group for it and to advertise it with an event, so you can use that event to basically think of it as a catch-all for anyone who's interested. They just have to click going. They don't have to message you. They don't have to leave their email publicly. They just click going. Now I have over 100 people I can go message and talk to about Shift Shop. So for my Shift Shop test group, I'm doing something a little bit different, and I want to share it with you guys in case you guys want to do something similar. I normally run one group a month, and I already have a group going for October. Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. For June, my group is called #OwnIt. But I saw this potential. I saw over 100 people sitting in that event going, man, they all have to wait till July. Why can't I capitalize on that now? Like, why would they wait? And you know, just like I said earlier, this is not a program for beginners. If someone needs to start it with 21-day fix, has never worked out a day in their life, probably is not a program I would suggest them starting with, but maybe they could prep for it. So I created something that I will be sharing with the entire team that is a Shift Shop, I'll show you it, and then I'll get back to this. A sweat prep. So it's a calendar, starts off June 1st for the entire month of June. That'll lead you right up to the launch of Shift Shop, and it incorporates Sean Week, so you can talk about Sean Week. But 2, it's going to prep you for these workouts. You'll see a lot of this is Insanity Max 30, it's T25, it's 21-day fix, 21-day fix extreme. This is a calendar that a couple people in the test group did 1 week. And so I kind of did a whole month, because it's like, why not? Think if we could get a whole group of people signing up with Beachbody On Demand today, getting Shakeology today, learning the containers today, and prepping themselves. And then when Shift Shop comes out, we're ready to rock and roll. There's no prep week. There's no nothing. It's just push play and let's get going. So this is what I'm going to be doing. So opening June 1st, this is when I am opening this. And the second people buy a challenge pack from me and commit to following this exact exact calendar. If they don't want to do this, they'll go in a different challenge group. They'll go in my other June challenge group. If they want to prep for this program and they're committed to going all in with this, this is what I'm going to be giving them. And everyone's going to be doing this. And I also have my meal plan that I can share with you guys. You guys can post in your groups just to get a little sample. I can't share you the meal plan in the booklet, but I can share you my version of it, which is pretty much the same. So you guys can get pretty much what I'm doing, and people can prep for this. People don't have to wait till July. You know, we used to have to like get everyone signing up the day it launches. Oh my gosh, challenge packs are live, hurry up, buy. And the website would crash and all this stuff. And now let's sign them up right now. Let's use all month of June, all month of July to sign people up so they can start this. And rather than making them wait till July to get their start Shift Shop, we're going to say, okay, wherever you're at on the calendar, you jump in on this day. If you jump in on the 12th, you're jumping into Sean week. You know, if you're jumping in on the 1st, then you're starting off with T25 Speed 1.0. Have them follow Portion Fix. Teach them how to use these containers. Stress to them. Challenge them to go grain-free this month. Challenge them to do no swaps. Get their cheats out, I guess, early. But prepare them for what's coming, because that's the whole point. But this is what I'm doing. So I sell challenge packs now for Shift Shop, and I capitalize on it now, and no one will be waiting till July. I did a poll in my test or in my event, and I said, you know, if I did this prep week or like this prep group where you guys could get started now, like how many of you guys would want to start now, and how many of you guys would like to start later? And I didn't have one person click that they wanted to start in July. Every single person said, I want to start now. I want to get going now. And, you know, if you've got some beginners, what a great way to teach them Portion Fix, teach them, you know, how to modify in these programs, because these workouts are hard, but there's a modifier, and you can modify the modifier if you know what you're doing. Use June to tell them what they're doing. So think you could get your own Shift Shop test group set up in the Challenge Tracker app. So I set mine up today. It opens June 1st and it goes all the way to like August 6th, just in case I got some stragglers in there that sign up a little late. Every single person gets the Beachbody On Demand All Access Challenge Pack. And in June, what I want you to do is I want you to talk up the performance line, because Hydrate is used, Recover is used, and Energize is used. Do you have to? No, it's part of the meal plan though. So if you want to follow this to a T, I would. But prep people for this. Prepare people to go all in with this. 3 weeks, you know, we can do it, you know, and if they know everyone's going to be cheat free and this is a positivity only, we only uplift, we only, you know, find solutions in here. It's not a bunch of Debbie Downers and we're all committed. Think what your challenge group would be like. Think how many amazing coaches would probably come from that group after going all in and getting the best results of their freaking life in this group. And go look at the hashtags. You'll see people's results are like jaw-dropping. Like literally, like some of these women in here, I'm just like, they started this the same day I did and they look like that now. Like, oh my gosh, it's insane, you guys. So think if you can prep people for it, and you can, in this prep group, share more transformations as they come out, but get started on this workout plan, do it with them, do the containers with them, and you get in the right mindset too. And have them learn everything. Think you have an entire month that you can sell challenge packs from day 1 to day 30, and you have a place to put them. No one has to wait. I've had people go, what do you do if someone signs up but your group doesn't start for a month? In this case, there's none of that. You send me your order number and your email address from your order and you're in the group. Simple as that. People get started right away, get them seeing results, and bang. So that's kind of my presentation for you guys tonight. I wanted to make sure I leave plenty of time for questions. If you guys have questions, if you want to unmute yourself, I would love that and ask. So yeah, hopefully you guys have questions, and I'll look at the chat too. So Angie, your first question is when am I opening my test group? So I'm opening it June 1st. I was planning on opening it while we're at Summit, and it's too much. Why not get people started and get the hype up right now? That way I can sell it now and I don't have to wait till July. Next question is Karen. Will there be access to the meal plan? How will you handle day 1 being July 13th start workouts? So honestly, like, that's a good question. If it launches midweek, I might wait to start on Monday and have that be review of the meal plan. There's a specific meal plan. It even comes with a grocery list for every single week. So like I'm in bracket A, it tells me what exactly to buy. If it launches on like a Thursday, I will probably use that as prep week. Like let's prepare and everyone starts Monday. I'm a big fan of starting on Mondays, which I know sucks, but I am, and people are going to need time to at least prep and look this over, review the meal plan, do that type of stuff. Sorry, just reading some of these. Yep, the logo, you can, if you Google Shift Shop transparent logo, you will find the same logo that we all use. Okay, those are all the questions. Do you guys have any other questions on here? I gotta think you guys have questions.
Is there any equipment needed for the resistance days?
Yes, that's a good question. So you will need weights. I find myself, so a lot of the moves are compounded. So like one of the moves today, for example, you get on the ground, basically do a burpee with weights, you do a push-up, then you do a raise, you stand up, you do a bicep curl, squat, and then a press. So you have to think when you're doing those compounded moves, you are using a little bit lighter weights. So I've been using between like 5 and 15 pounds. I've got other people like Kara in the test group. She's like, I'm busting out 20s. She's crazy. But between 5 and 15 pounds is what I've been using. And I bet most people will use like 5 and 10 pounds. So you could be okay with that. So Maria, you could print them out and laminate. I'm not going to lie. I'm telling everyone to buy these. This is great volume for my business right here. But also it is so nice having them. I can't tell you, because there's sometimes you're stepping on them. I worked out in my garage. These are like, they're rubber. So like they stick. If I was stepping on paper, I probably would have slipped on my butt and really hurt myself. So think about that too. I don't know how much the markers will be, but I do think it's worth the money. And think if we did just what Chris Downing has been telling us in the test group of putting, the tape on it and writing your whys. He talks about it in the videos, I beat depression, I beat this, whatever. But like, think if we can make it like that for our challengers too. Week 1, he said, it's kind of your warm up, getting to know the program. Week 2 is your emotional week. I think every single one of us cried in one workout that week. It was just emotional. And I don't know, maybe it was a lack of carbs or something. But it's emotional, and it's cool having these markers. And he talks about slapping the markers. What are you slapping for? What are you reaching for? And being able to share those things in your group with your challengers and make it an emotional week for your challengers, because it's make the shift. And I never knew what that meant, but it's making that physical shift, but that mental shift too, that I can do this, I am powerful. And he talks about these things. So I think it's cool to have the actual markers. And I do not know how much they will be. I have to think they'd probably be like 10 to 15 bucks, if that, hopefully like less than that. So I love the idea of having my challengers sign a contract too. I started making one, and then I was like, I don't know what I want this to say. And I'm like, I really should pull up my one from Beachbody and see what it says. But mine from Beachbody is way more official than I would ever send a challenger. But it's pretty cool to have them sign it, take a picture and send it to you, or take a picture and post it in the group. So if I make one, I will definitely share it with you guys. And then the prep calendar, I will definitely post in the team page. I need to one tribify it. I have it just Duke'ified right now, and I'll take my stuff off and make it something that everyone can share, so you guys aren't sharing my website on it. And yes, if you guys see people's results, share them. Make sure the watermark is on them. That's the one thing you'll see with everyone. They're like, don't share my picture unless it's watermarked. And so I've been making sure that the ones I share are all watermarked. But if you see someone's watermarked picture and they posted it on social media, it is fair game, in my opinion. They posted it. If they didn't want it shared, they shouldn't have freaking posted it on Facebook. So if you see something, I would totally share it. And yes, there is additional ab workouts. I've only done the one it's 14 minutes long. It is tough, and you do it, I want to say 2 days a week, the last 2 days of the week, when you do the programs for the very last time. And I do think there's a harder one because we got a sandbag with our test group kit. So I want to say maybe in round 4, or maybe this week we'll use the sandbag in the ab workout. Not really sure. I'm still like, I've got it filled and I just haven't used it yet. And yeah, Lacey, I'd love to see what the contract looks like. So for the subsequent rounds of this program, I do believe week 4 has some 50-minute workouts. And he told us that the workouts in week 4 were so intense that he threw up during the workouts and they had to modify them. So I was like, oh gosh, what are you doing to us? So they are 50 minutes long. I don't know if all of them are, but I know at least one of them is, because I saw something called Speed 50 in our workout. So I'm guessing that they're 50 minutes long. So, yes, a lot of the workouts are really similar to the ones we did in Punta Cana. Like the cardio ones, they're very like agility stuff. So like hopping, like to me, it almost feels like hopscotch, just extreme, where you're jumping around over these, you're like wide legs, diamond legs, like a lot of like up down plank stuff. There's something called a downing burpee, which is where you literally do 2 burpees and then you like roll on your back and do more burpees. But a lot of it is like the tapping of the markers and speed stuff, like running around them, tapping them, squats and touching down, tapping them, but jumping from them. So it keeps your mind very occupied because you're very focused on these little markers. And if you don't have a sandbag, I'm guessing you could probably use a 10-pound weight or something like that, where you can just put a weight in your hand. And I think the sandbag is just to intensify it. I don't think it's required. Kind of like 22-minute hardcore I think for that program, it was an additional thing. You didn't have to use it. I obviously didn't make it through the program, so I don't know 100%. And then how much room you need. So you don't need that much room. You could definitely make these, he tells you how to lay these things out, for the one this week for the Speed 45, I found it beneficial to have a little bit more room because you had them in a square and you were running around them at one point. You could always make your square smaller and run smaller and do smaller strides. So I still think, I'm still doing these in my living room. And so you still don't need a ton of room. I mean, obviously enough room to do like a burpee, to lay down, that type of thing. But if you were able to do other Beachbody workouts, you can definitely do this one in your space. Yeah, and I'm sure you can use weights instead of the sandbag. Anyone have any other questions? Any questions about how you guys plan to promote this? Any questions on getting people interested? I don't know.
Are you turning away anybody that is a beginner, or are you recommending them to do like the fix instead of this, since you said it is not for beginners?
So if someone comes to me and is brand new, I am going to recommend that they start with 21 Day Fix or start somewhere else. I mean, I recommend all my beginners to start with 21 Day Fix just because I think it is one of the best programs for a beginner. Obviously, we have other ones people could do. But if I know someone's a beginner, I am not going to recommend them starting with this just because I could see, if you come in and something's over your head, it's discouraging and you want to quit because it's too much. And then you're mad that you're not able to do it all and you just want to quit. So rather than starting someone way above their level, I'm probably going to start them with 21 Day Fix. Obviously you might have some challengers that are like, no, I want to try it anyways. Okay, you're welcome to try it and modify it. I think the one thing to just make sure people know is that the meal plan is strict. There's no treats. And if you start making your own version of this meal plan, you're going to get your own version of results too. And you're not going to get the true experience here. So I just think if people know what they're getting into, that's up to them of what they do. But I do think I probably would recommend that a beginner start elsewhere. And I either not sure what I'm going to do, but I will either host a separate group if I have enough of my challengers who aren't doing this program, or they will go in my Fit Club, and I'll just make sure I'm checking in with them individually through email during that month when we do Shift Shop by ourselves. Anyone else?
How involved are the meals for the meal plan? I'm moving to Hawaii right after Summit, and we'll be in a hotel until we can find a house. And so I want to be able to lead my group, but I want to be able to follow the plan also.
So I'm eating super basic things. So for example, if you guys want to know what I'm eating right now, I'm in the lowest bracket, so keep that in mind. So depending on where you're at, you might have more food. But like right now, for example, my breakfast is well, this week I get more proteins, but so eggs and cheddar cheese for breakfast. My snack is a fruit and nut butter. My lunch has been a salad because it's a great way to cram in all of my veggies for the day, basically. So I'm loading up a salad with grilled chicken, with either avocado or feta cheese, and then spinach, tomato, red onions, and like carrot shreds, and then 2 tablespoons of any, you can use any oil-based vinaigrette. And then my snack in the afternoon is my Shakeology. I would totally recommend putting in spinach. I tried. I can't do it, my Shakeology. But that's what I would recommend. And then dinner for me this week is a protein and a veggie. So I've got a turkey burger waiting for me downstairs with mass amounts of spinach to, I guess, eat with it, and then mustard. And then that's my meal plan for today. And then I will probably have another like protein of some sort tonight because I have to fit in one more. I had an extra egg at breakfast, but I probably will have to have a little bit of extra, maybe grilled chicken or something to make up for that other half of red. But you know, in last week, the only thing different about my meal plan was I had a sweet potato in there, and I had 1 less green and 1 less red. So my meal plan has been super basic. So I think you can make it as basic as you want. He doesn't tell you these elaborate meals to cook. He just will say like romaine, tomato, black beans, chicken, you know, dressing. You can make that into whatever you want. It's amazing kind of how we all interpret things a little bit differently. You know, and I found like, I don't like black beans, so I did a sweet potato instead. You know, he has on week 1 eating salmon like 4 times a week. That's a little too much for me. So, or I think it's a white fish. So I did salmon instead and then did some like grilled chicken. So I think you can make your own swaps, but it's basic, you guys. Like there's no marinades. There's not a bunch of floofy sauces and cheeses everywhere. It's really basic. Lots of like your own seasonings. So I think honestly, it's easy. There was a girl that went to Disneyland and followed this program for a whole week while there. So if you want to do it, you definitely can do it. That's for sure. So Karen asks, do you restart the meal plan if you do a second round? So they are having us go back to week 2's meal plan for 2 weeks and then back to week 3. So for the next 2 weeks after this one, I have no carbs. Next week and the following week, I'll add 1 carb in and take away a protein, a veggie, and a teaspoon. And then the last week, I'll go back to the one I'm following right now. So you never go back to having the 2 carbs, if that makes sense. So it's fairly low carb the entire time.
Hey, Jess, if you have a beginner come in June, would you recommend them doing the prep with you? Like, do you think the Max 30, the T25, and the Fix Extreme for a beginner is still too much? If they say, I want to do Shift Shop and I want to prep with you, would you let them? Because if you didn't, they would have to wait all of June and not be in your July group. And their really only option.
Well, so I will. So for example, I've got a July or a June group going called #OwnIt. And those people in there want to do Shift Shop with me. And I've got some veteran like challengers in there that I know are like dying for Shift Shop. I'm going to make sure I share my workout calendar in there. If I had a newbie come to me and say, okay, I really want to do Shift Shop, I'm determined, tell me what to do? I honestly would probably start them with maybe like Insanity Max 30, have them start modifying that, but starting doing the cardio. I find that people don't struggle with weights. People struggle with the like keeping up in the cardio workouts. And if you can have that endurance and build that up, I think it would help. I'm not sure I'd recommend even my workout calendar to a beginner. Again, they can try it, they can modify it, but they got to be okay modifying the modifiers sometimes, maybe.
So I have a June group going too that starts June 5th. My concern is if you have somebody come in the middle of June that says, I want to join, but you know that they're not a match for your prep group and you know they're not a match for Shift Shop, then what are you going to do with them?
I'm going to sign them up for Beachbody On Demand, have them start 21-day fix, put them in my
club?
or if I get enough people, I will probably run another June or July challenge group, just like I am in June, where I've got Shift Shop and my normal, because I've got even some veteran challengers that are not ready for Shift Shop, and not even that they're not ready for it, they don't want to commit to something that intense type of thing. So maybe you just plan on running 2 groups. That way, no matter who comes to you, you have a place. It's just this place or this place.
Okay. Thank you.
And then I know that so Whitney asks, I know that most people using Beachbody containers don't count calories. I do both. Would you not for this program? I would never count calories anyways, but that's just me. That's why I like the containers. It's the whole point of the containers, so you don't have to count the calories. But I wouldn't. I mean, what's the point? If you're following containers and calories, which one wins? Like, which one do you go with at the end of the day, you know? So to me, I just follow containers. That's the whole point, and it keeps the stress off. That's one thing Chris Downing has stressed so much in this challenge group, is it is not about weight. And this is the one thing he says all the time. He goes, tell your wife to go to the store and try to find 135-pound jeans. You can't find it. There's no such thing. Size is just, or your weight is just a number. It doesn't represent your size. It doesn't represent how you feel about yourself, nothing. And when you add in all this stress of these extra things, it can add to that stress that can add to your weight. So to me, in my groups, there's no calorie counting. I don't allow that. I've gotten soft as a coach, but that's one thing I don't do is calorie counting, because then you're not truly following this program. So I would give up the calorie counting, at least for this program, and try it. And maybe you'll find that it's so much easier just filling up these containers and eating, and not having to worry about every little granular ounce of food that goes in your body, because that's what these containers are all about. That's the best part about them. Anyone else? Okay, well, I will let you guys go for the evening. If you guys think of any questions, please let me know. I will definitely make sure that I post this workout calendar. I'll also be sharing my meal plans. That way you guys can follow them if you want to. Like I said, they're basic. I would think kind of as containers, and if you don't like something on the meal plan, swap it out for a different container, but if you stick with the container counts, then you'll be sticking to what Shift Shop's doing, and then you and your challengers can kind of do the same thing. And obviously my meal plans are only for the lowest bracket, so you might have to modify them yourself, but you could even just use them as an outline of seeing the types of food I'm eating, and translate that to Portion Fix for a whole month and go from there. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. I can share a lot about this program. I can't share the exact stuff, but I can share a lot. And go out there and sell some challenge packs now. And really, I want to challenge you guys to really commit yourselves to this program, all in, 0 cheats. It's going to be in the summer. It's not going to be easy, but I promise you, if 300 coaches can do this in the test group, you guys can do it too. You guys are no different than anyone else in the test group. And I promise you, the results you see will make you never, you won't have those cravings you have now if you're struggling. I promise you, go all in, trust the program, follow it. Don't try to be an expert. Experts created this. You are not an expert. The more you tweak these programs, it means that's basically you saying, I know better than the experts and professionals, and you don't. I don't, you don't, we all don't. So trust the program, follow it as is, crush the workouts, give them everything you have. And I promise you, you will make a killer transformation in these 3 weeks. And just that alone will do so much for your business and show people that this stuff works. There's like there's no question that Beachbody doesn't work. So when someone goes to their friend and says, oh, 21 Day Fix doesn't work, I tried that. They'll look at you and go, I know Beachbody works because that girl, look at her. She looks so good. I want what she has. So you have to be that. You got to be the energy, and you got to show them what's possible and lead from the front, and your challengers will follow right behind you. So I hope you guys have an amazing night, and I will be sharing that information. Probably won't be until tomorrow because I'm going to go eat dinner and hang out with my family. But tomorrow I will share it with you guys and make sure the One Tribe logo is on it, so it's not doesn't have my name on it. So I hope you guys have a really amazing night. If you guys have any more questions, you know where to find me. See you guys.